Hello, dear friends. Myself, Dr. K.N. Gaikwad, Department of Botany, KTHM College, Nasik. We have already started Botany paper first for semester second. Code is BO241 and title of our paper is Plant Anatomy and Embryology. In first lecture, we have studied Introduction to Plant Anatomy, Scope and Importance. In second lecture, we have started epidermal tissue system. Under that, we have seen definition, structure of epidermis, types of epidermis, multilayered and uniseriate and multiseriate, function, then structure of stomata and types of stomata. And finally, we have seen function of stomata. Now, in this topic, the chapter is second, epidermal tissue system. Under that, today we are going to see epidermal outgrowths. The epidermal cells of most plants grow out in the form of hairs or trichomes. They may occur in groups or singly. They may be unicellular or multicellular and occur in different forms. They vary from small protuberances of the epidermal cells to complex branched and stellate multicellular structures. The cells of the hairs may be living or dead. The hairs are many types, such as stinging hairs, latissiferous hair, non-glandular hair, glandular hairs, stellate glandular hairs, branched glandular hairs, non-glandular peltate hair, and glandular peltate hair. Now there are two types of the hairs, non-glandular and glandular hairs. Now in this slide there is some diagrams of non-glandular hairs. Multicellular branched hairs are there. First type is that simple branched with uniserate or branched. Then these are the stellate, star-shaped trichomes are there. Then this is the peltate and balanced or T-shaped hair is there. Non-glandular hairs that originate from the epidermis. It has region, the basal part called foot and apical part called as the body. Every non-glandular has having the two parts, base and apical part. These trichomes may be unicellular or multicellular. Trichomes may occur on all parts of the plant. They persist throughout the life and organ, or many eventually be lost. The unicellular trichomes possesses lumen and protoplast or divide of protoplast. They are also called dry hairs. Most of them are hygroscopic. Hence, they help in retention of water for plant body. Unicellular hairs in root are absorptive in nature. Morphologically, non-glandular hairs are unicellular hairs categorized into two types. Unicellular branched hairs, for example, mesh, and unicellular branched. Now in this diagram, these are mostly multicellular hairs are there. Multicellular hairs may consist of single row of cell known as uniseriate. Now in its first diagram, there is a uniseriate arrangement of the cell is there. Example, Lycopersicon. Multicellular hairs with more than one row are called multiseriate. When the cells are arranged in more than two rows, it is called multiseriate. For example, Portulaca. Commonly, these multicellular hairs show foot embedded in the epidermis and body projecting above the surface. Unicellular hair forming a single bunch is known as tufted hairs. Some third diagram is of this example. Some multicellular hairs are branched, giving in a tree-like appearance. For example, Mimosa, Plantanus. Sometimes they form a scale-like structure. For example, Solanum verbasifolium. Other common types of trichomes observed in the members of family Malvaceae are the stellate hairs. Now, second and third diagram are the stellate hairs. Common other types of trichomes observed in the members of family Malvaceae are stellate hairs. Sometimes they are star-shaped or branched. In some plants, they are peltate. That means foliage-like structures are there. Very short stalk surrounded by a plant-like structure of closely lobed cells. And this is the T-shaped hairs are there. These are all the examples of multicellular non-glandular hairs. Now, second type of hair are glandular hairs. This is one of the diagram of glandular hair. Glandular hairs are multicellular, unicellular, and peltate hairs may be glandular. The simple multicellular glandular hair consists of stalk, and unicellular or multicellular hair is there. Now this is the base or stalk of the stinging hair, and upper is one cell. Now this is the head and this is the foot, collateral. This is the capitate glandular hair and multicellular glandular hairs are there. Now these are the hairs of seeds which are non-glandular. That means each and every structure we can show the basal foot which is attached to the epidermal cells and upper multicellular or unicellular hairs. The head of the hair is secretory in function. In peltate glandular trichome, the discoid plate is made up of glandular cells. They consist of stalk and unicellular or multicellular head is there. The head region is composed of glandular cells arranged singly or in a group, forming a palisade-like tissue or palisade-like layer. They are secretory in function. For example, Ocimum sanctum. In Tulas plant, if you observe, make a peeling and observe under microscope, you will get this type of the glandular hairs are there. In Cucurbita, glandular hairs are multicellular. In the families of Solanaceae, Labiataceae, Pedicelaceae, and Cucurbitaceae, glandular hairs are found. In the family Labiataceae, glandular hairs are multicellular with stalk and rounded terminal head is there. Example, Mentha and Ocimum. In Mentha, the glandular cells of the head secrete aromatic volatile oil. The stinging hair, first diagram, the stinging hair of nettle is glandular, which are multicellular with stalk and rounded terminal head is there. These are injected in the wound caused by the sharp end. The end of the head is sharp in the skin of animals. In Nerium leaf, Nerium is one of the example of xeropodic plant. There are stomatal cavities in the lower epidermis, which consist of epidermal hairs. Glandular epidermal hairs are there. They may secrete a mucilaginous substances which hold water and keep the stomatal cavities cool. This also reduces rate of transpiration. The multicellular hairs of Nicotiana, plumbago, glandular peltate hairs are there. Glandular hairs are the characteristic feature of member of family Labiatae, Plumbaginaceae, Urticaceae, and Solanaceae. In this way, we have seen epidermal hairs are of two types, that is non-glandular. These are the non-glandular hairs and these are the glandular hairs. Now next unit, sub-unit of this topic, chapter number 2, last unit is nothing but the bulliform cell, or they are also called motor cell. Motor cells are also called bulliform cells. They are large in size. Now see, this is the upper epidermis, this is the lower epidermis, and in this upper epidermis, other cells are same in size, but some cells are at some region, they become large in size. These larger cells are called bulliform cells. They are larger, bubble-shaped epidermal cells are there that occurs in group and spread among the epidermal cells of monocotyledonous leaves only. They are not present in dicotyledonous leaves. They are important for water storage. During stress condition, motor cell assists to roll leaves backward to avoid water loss through the process of transpiration. Therefore, these bulliform cells control the process of transpiration. They unroll the leaves when favorable conditions are back. Motor cells are primarily found in grasses. They are large, bubble-shaped epidermal cells occurring in groups of many monocots. Mostly they are present on upper epidermis of leaves. These cells are found on the leaves adaxial or upper surface. Motor cells are usually present around midrib vein of leaves. These cells are large, colorless, and vacuum. When water is abundant, they absorb more and more water for plant body and can swell and shrink when there is less water. During favorable condition, water table is large. At that time, they become absorb water and become expanded in their size. But during desiccation or drought condition, they become lose their shapes and supply that water for the physiological activities. The process of curling of the leaf helps to decrease water loss due to evaporation. Now in this slide there is a TS of monocot leaf. This is the bundle sheath. Cavity is there. There are green cells are there, chlorenchymatous. These are the mesophyll cells. Vascular bundles are distributed on lamina that contains xylem and the phloem. Stomata are present over the lower surface. But don't see other, we have to only study these cells. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. These are called bulliform cells. They are thought that to play a role of unfolding of developing leaves and in the rolling and unrolling of mature leaves, it responds to alternating wet and dry periods. So motor cells help in onward rolling of leaves. However, they do not have direct role in transpiration or guttation. In this way, In this chapter, we have seen started epidermal outgrowths. First time, all we have seen first type non-glandular hair, simple branched. Some glandular hairs are unicellular also, stellate, peltate, and T-shape. This is one of the diagram of glandular hairs, and these are the diagrams of glandular hair: capitate, multicellular peltate, collator, stinging hair, seed hairs, and bulliform cell. Dear student, there are some assignments or questions on this topic. What are motor cells? We have seen in this topic what is the motor cell, because they are only present in monocot leaves. What are glandular hairs? Second question. Third is what are non-glandular hairs? And finally, we have to write short note on motor cell by making a diagram. Now after that, we have to start next time topic number third. Topic number third is that mechanical tissue system. Okay, thanks.